Okay, so here we are again. Okay, so this is the NBA Finals game. What 5? This is the this is the put out game, right? And we up, and of course we gonna win. But either way, I want to touch on this right here. All right, so here I am with my point guard, and I want to drive the paint, right? Obviously, I don't want to go for this layup. There's two men waiting right here, right? That wouldn't be all that intelligent unless you're going to just try to force your way in. But what I do want to do is I understand when I try to do this, I'm going to get this guy right here to collapse. All right. See, this is how you play chess, right? This is how basketball goes. This is how you do this. All right. So I understand when I make this move, he's going to collapse. If he doesn't collapse, then he's going to collapse. But either way, somebody's going to collapse and they're going to get an open bucket. This guy, his mid range is on 99. All right, so he just stand there, give him the ball, we got a bucket. But the algorithm understanding what's happening, right? The algorithm knows how this goes. So once I get him to collapse, I'm trying to pass the ball, but I'm not being allowed to. This is what I'm talking about right here. This should not be happening. This should not ever happen. But in 2K, when there's a certain narrative, when there's a certain agenda, when the algorithm or the AI is trying to impose a particular thing on you, when they're trying to force something to happen or not allow another thing to happen, they would just outright control your player, and they would outright ignore your command or your request to do certain things. Like right here, I want to pass it, so I'm forcing to going into this animation, and I'm not allowed to pass it. And what happens is I'm forced into driving and running right into a computer and losing the ball. Which this is a predetermined animation, and you can tell that it was because you can see how off this dribble right here, I was never going to be allowed to continue to dribble the ball. This is a animation trigger to go into a turnover. If you pay attention, sometimes it's not that clear at this moment, but at sometimes if you look at it in slow motion, you could see the animation to turn the ball over happen before you ever even come close to turning the ball, actually doing what it takes to turn the ball over, right? So let's say you're running past a computer and they're just standing there and they might or may not reach, but you will go into the animation to drop the ball before they ever even reach. Why? Because it's a predetermined animation. It's a triggered animation. It's a predetermined outcome. It was already decided that you were going to lose the ball. All right. And it wasn't going to be about how well you were dribbling or running offense or anything like that. It was just a part of the narrative. It's a part of the script. All right. It's rigged. 2K is rigged. It's scripted in that way. Right. Where you're playing out a role a lot of times. You're playing out the role. Some games, you actually have certain players who are playing the role of the guy that's going to have a bad game that night, right? So you'll be shooting, you'll go 9 for 27 with a guy, right? And you notice you were pretty much open on every side. You didn't take bad shot attempts. You wasn't, just throwing up anything. You play smart offense, right? Every now and again, you may have gotten a little defense on you. Every now and again, you may have, tried to force something to the rack. But for the most part, you played a clean offensive game, right? But the script was that you were going to trick that game off. You were going to have a bad night, right? So they force things like that to happen instead of allowing you to just have a bad night because of how you were actually playing. They force you to have a bad night according to the script. All right. And that's basically how this game goes. So now, even though this guy's wide open, all right, he was not going to be able to stop him, especially seeing as how he was backpedaling. He was backpedaling because I was direction passing. All right, so now, not only am I forced to go into this animation where I'm kind of leaning right, and I'm forced into going into the defender, I was direction passing left, as you can see when he's backing outwards. So what that also means is that my player, once he got at this point, he was actually supposed to kind of jerk left just a little bit, right? Because when you're direction passing, sometimes your player will move that way just a little bit before you actually get the ball off, right? And that's how you know when a direction pass was in play, which is what happened right here, which is why he was backing out in that direction, because I was sending him there, right, to get the wide open mid range. Let's understand something. 2K understands these scenarios. They understand basketball situations. Right? They know how this goes. They understand these basketball scenarios. All right? And just look at how I played him, right? I got him. I purposely got him to go out. I don't know what that extra dribble was about, but that's 2K for you. But, I got him to go out that direction so I could actually get this side of the court open, because I wanted to get the ball to this dude right here. I wanted to force him to collapse. All right, so I planned that out way ahead of time. I already knew what time it was. All right, I think shit 4 or 5 steps ahead. I'm coming up the court. I already see what I'm finna do to you. Anyway, peace.